And continuing with the fast track 28-day ketogenic challenge is happening right now. You still have time to jump in on that. Click on the link in the bio, the show notes, wherever you're listening or watching this, and I will add you to the group. You'll have access to the meal plan, the recipes, the shopping guides, all that good stuff. If you do want to step up to a paid coaching program where you're getting workout support, coaching assistance, exclusive Q&A videos for members, and all those perks, along with 25% off all of your Designs for Health supplements, that's a big perk that comes along with your membership. Message me, and I'll get the pricing details. It's very reasonable. I'm running a buy one, get two free sale right now, so you can get 3 months for the cost of one. Okay, so weight loss realities they didn't tell you on The Biggest Loser. This is part of the Myths and Misconceptions series, and that is happening on all the social media channels: Facebook, closed group, Instagram, here on YouTube, you name it, Twitter, X, Telegram, everywhere you want to be on the internet. I have some presence there. I would love for you to be a part of that. The weight loss reality that they did not want you to know is if you've come off of processed foods, you are in recovery. This is a form of addiction. Okay, that is the big secret from The Biggest Loser. Shows like that are sponsored by big food companies, and big food companies have a lot of ties to the big sick care industry, and they can't really tell people exactly what to do. They just sort of allude to it or act like you just need to control your calories. Okay. Well, energy balance, there is some truth to this whole energy balance thing. I don't completely deny it, but that concept, that's something that was thought up in the 1850s. That is prior to the discovery of insulin and other hormones that regulate appetite and energy expenditure. But it's still being propped up by the food companies because it absolves them of any responsibility or liability for creating these addictive products that are damaging people's health. So we can't very well tell a nationwide audience, just avoid processed food or just avoid carbohydrates and added fats for good health, because the shows are sponsored by Doritos and Cheetos and Oreos and Fritos and Cheerios and anything with an O on it. That is not real food for humans. And that's the problem. Okay. Carbohydrate has not always been available in such high quantities, carbs and fat. Energy for most of our existence on this planet has kind of been, kind of scarce. And what is in our environment most of the time is basically lean protein and fibrous plant material. And there's a lot of work involved in getting that out of the natural world. So we're at a point in time now where the problem is twofold. We're wired to eat as much energy as we can whenever we encounter that energy, because it's rare in the natural environment. Maybe every once in a while you find some ripe fruit or some honey and you're just going to gorge as much of it as you can. So we're wired to overeat for survival. And we're also wired to do as little as we have to in order to get that energy. So we can store more in the form of body fat to have in case we go into another famine, which in our modern environment never happens. So it is a form of addiction. Processed foods are addictive. The manufacturers freely admit that. Their products are addictive. Once you pop, you can't stop. Bet you can't eat just one. Don't take that bet, because you probably can't. And another side of that is we are visual. Okay. When we see something, we want it. And that's why advertisers put photos of their product, this full color, high definition hamburger or cheeseburger, cheeseburger and fries, along with, milkshake or whatever it is, cereal, cookies, you name it. Okay. Someone said to me recently something about a craving for Reese's, okay, or Reese's peanut butter cups. Now, I love Reese's peanut butter cups, but I'm wondering who sits around and just has a craving for something with no reason. More than likely, you saw that Reese's peanut butter cup, or you thought about it. Someone talked about it, or maybe you saw a commercial on television, or maybe you remembered a time when you had, or you saw it in your pantry because you have that bag sitting there that you're not going to eat right now. You're going to wait till the weekend or whatever it is. Willpower is a very finite resource. And the more we have to use that, the more difficult it becomes. So set yourself up for success. Get that stuff out of your environment. Back when I was a fan of The Biggest Loser, I used to watch that show regularly up until about 2016. That's 2017. That's when I became familiar with this whole low carb, ancestral, ketogenic, paleo, carnivore thing. Um, I was like anyone else. I thought just limit calories, eat smaller portions, and try not to eat too much junk food, most of the time or whatever. That is not really a long-term recipe for success. I had some moderate success doing that, but I would frequently slip up. I would just binge on junk, and that started a landslide of wanting everything else in sight. And I wasn't really able to maintain my results long term. So the whole ketogenic way of doing things was a huge game changer for me. That's why I focus on this style of eating so much. It's so much different from anything else out there. It's focused because there's one thing that you have to do to be successful. Don't eat carbs. Okay. Now I would say don't eat carbs most of the time. Have at least 3 days in a row. I like 5 days in a row of the very low carbohydrate intake. If you can't go 5 days without bread or pasta or rice or crackers or whatever it is, you are addicted, just point blank. Okay, and you have to treat it for what it is. I'm not qualified to treat addictions, but this much I know: if you want to break that habit pattern, get it out of your environment. Treat yourself like you are recovering, which is true. You're recovering your health. You're recovering your metabolism. You're recovering your ability to burn fat for fuel the way we're supposed to. Okay. Whew. All right. Rant's over. Thanks for tuning in. Like the video, comment, subscribe, share, do all the good stuff. I'll see you later. Until next time, stay strong and enjoy the journey.